we're going to do the new lesson. Some very important information we are going to see today is a lesson about a very important word that we have in Spanish. In Spanish, in English, teacher. Okay? And the word is an article, right? This particular word is very interesting in English and very contrasting from our language. Contrasting. Do you know what is contrasting? Anyone understands the word contrasting? Do you? Okay, we don't understand what is contrasting, right?
Something very different.
Okay, okay, something very different from what?
Uh, comparing two things, maybe.
When comparing two things, I like it. Good, 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 good. In this case, we are going to compare English with Spanish. Okay? Articles in English are very different to articles in Spanish. And these articles are going to be, well, let's understand this first. We have a specific or particular nouns. We use it with article the. And when we are speaking about anything, whatever, we use the article a or an. Articles are color orange and they represent nouns which are color blue. Are we understanding right now? Easy information at the beginning. Let me just articles and nouns. Okay, here we go. A specific or particular nouns, the car. And anything or whatever or whichever, a car. The question is, what's the difference? Who knows what's the difference between the car or a car?
The car is a specific car.
Isn't a specific car? Give me more information about that. In what
Um,
situations do you use it?
you're talking about the car among many cars, other cars.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
And when you use a and an is not specific, it's just the car. Whatever car.
Whatever car. I like the whatever. Mm-hmm. Yes, I like the whatever. Because many people confuse to say a car and the car in the situations. I really like the first thing you said. The first thing you said was using the example of, let's imagine that you have the sentence, this is the car that we were talking, that we saw at the mall the other day. Let's imagine that by consequence, you see one car in a particular place by coincidence. One day you see the car, and the next day you say, oh, that's the same car. In this context, it's necessary to use car because both persons or both people in the conversation know what car we are talking about. Recognize the car. In this case, both people in the conversation recognize the car. Do you understand what I'm saying, guys? Questions, Hector? Questions, Laurita? Questions, Brian? Do we know what we're talking about?
No questions, teacher.
Okay. Okay.
For the moment, no.
For the moment, no. I hope that if you have a question, please tell me, okay? Super important. On the other side, we have a versus an, no? Or a. And I can say, for example, the concept, or yeah, the example, I want to buy a new car. In this case, we are using the word a because we don't know what car. It can be a Honda, it can be a Nissan, it can be a Volkswagen, it can be a Tesla, but we don't know what car. So the difference between a versus the is how specific or how familiar you are with the object. You need to understand that in one side you are familiar with the object, but on the other side you are not. Contrast. On one side, you are familiar with the object. On the other, you are not. That's the basic part of the sentence. If you understand this, we can continue. If you don't understand this, we cannot continue. So, do you understand this?
Yes.
Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Having this into consideration, we are going to go through the next part. Any versus one in a specific. When we are talking about the word or the article a, we are talking about countable things. That's super important, okay? Countable things or countable nouns. For example, Roger is a doctor. This is Roger, and he is a doctor. In Spanish, we say Roger es, o Rogelio es doctor. In Spanish, we don't say Rogelio es un doctor. Do you agree? So the English equivalent is different. The Spanish equivalent doesn't use the article. So articles are different in Spanish. The same thing happens in English. Because if I tell you that in specific occasions, sometimes we don't use the. Attention here, eh? Sometimes we don't use the article. Let me give you a demonstration. Think about these sentences in Spanish. Let's go with the first one. Cats are great pets. How do you say this sentence? Cats are great pets in Spanish. Who can tell me?
Los gatos son
Son
grandes.
grandiosos, ¿no?
Los gatos son grandiosos. Can you repeat, Héctor?
Lo mismo.
Lo mismo.
Bueno, los gatos son
Sorry.
grandes mascotas.
Mascotas.
Grandes mascotas.
Grandiosas,
Yes.
sí, claro.
Yes, of course.
O gran mascota, no. Grandes,
Grandes.
grandes mascotas.
Los
Yo
gatos
les
son
diría
chidos.
buenas. Ok, eso estás parafraseando. Buen paráfrasis. Los gatos son chidos. All right. Well, we understand, right? Los gatos. En Spanish, switch to Spanish. En español, tenemos un artículo. Los. El, la, los, las se traduce a the. But then you see this example, and there's no the. If we say that cats are great pets, this is actually incorrect. Do you understand?
Why, teacher?
Why, teacher? Excellent question. Why this is incorrect? Well, there is a rule in English that you don't need an article when you talk about things in general, rules, laws, and facts. I repeat, things in general, rules, laws, and facts. Who do you understand this information? Rules, for example. What is rules?
Reglas.
Very good. So rule, laws. What is laws?
Leyes,
Leyes.
Leyes.
And facts.
hechos.
Hechos.
That's it. Well, datos. Let's use it in this
Datos.
case. Datos. Okay. If you speak about things in general, rules, laws, and facts, we cannot use the article. This is very relevant for a composition. If you write a composition in your exam, it will be necessary to omit the article when it's necessary, when it's not necessary in this case. So let's read these examples. Okay, let's start with Brian. Read the next example. Example letter B.
I love reading books.
That's right. In this case, are we speaking in general? Rules, laws, or facts?
In general.
Things in general.
Exactly. Books in general. You see? That's the reason it's necessary to use only books, not the books. The next one is a little bit more complicated. Help me, Elsie. Read letter C.
Women love it. Women love it when men send them flowers. Women
That's right.
Mhm.
In this case, what are we talking about?
Mm, 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 mm. Mm, rules.
Rules. I would say facts, no? Well, because rule is like there is a punishment. Well, I don't know, bro. Yes. It's a metaphoric
It
rule.
could be.
It could be. Program your flowers, boys. Schedule your flowers every month. A delivery. Okay, the flowers we're talking about. Rules or facts?
Sorry, teacher, I just forget that when fat means data, you said?
Oh, but data is different. Fact is like true information,
Okay.
and data is digital information.
Okay.
Ah,
You said uh, mm, can you repeat? Sorry.
yes, of course. Facts are true information or true statements, and data is digital information.
Okay. So
Excel and
facts.
databases and facts, exactly. Yeah, because rules is more like a law terminology, like constitution stuff, So that's the way, precisely. This is very interesting. How do you translate this into Spanish, Elsie?
Las mujeres aman cuando los hombres les envían flores.
You see? If you translate directly from Spanish, common mistake, you will translate the women love when the men, sorry. This is the mistake. And this is the mistake that we need to eliminate. In the exam, you will have to write a composition and you need to eliminate the article.
Teacher, when
Yes,
you
Laurita.
the article the,
When you use the article the, excellent question. The opposite, the contrary. When we speak about specific things, you use the article.
these sentences not is specific,
Exactly, this is in general.
is in general.
Mhm.
Okay.
An example specific.
Mhm.
The women in my school, love when men give them flowers.
Mhm. Okay.
This is a specific group of women.
Mhm.
So that will be the
Yes.
first difference, no? The first difference is using a specific group of women, we use the.
Okay. Yes, thanks.
And the rest is the same, eh? Exactly the same. Let's talk about the next one. Go, Mitch, no, letter D.
Houses are expensive in that neighborhood.
What are we talking about in this example?
Maybe it's a rule?
I agree. Rule. Well, it happened similar to what happened to Elsie. It's more like a fact, no? Let's eliminate the rule.
Okay.
We're talking about facts.
Okay.
In Spanish, how do you translate this?
Las casas son muy caras en este vecindario o en esta colonia.
Yes, I would say colonia.
Ajá.
Honestly, I would say colonia. You know, it depends on the cultural section, no?
Ajá.
But yes, precisely. Las casas son. But in Spanish, in English, it's not necessary to say the houses.
Because we are talking in general.
Because we're talking in general.
Okay.
Good. Let's go to the next one. Americans drive big cars. Nationalities. Also, nationalities, we need to take care with our article, eh? You don't say the American people. We only say American people. You know? Especially when you're talking about generals. I love listening to music. She's afraid of heights. I love chocolate. She doesn't eat meat. Plastic decorations. And in the next example, we have color TV was invented by a Mexican. Color TV, not the color TV. You see? So, do you have any questions about rule number 1?
No, teacher.
No? Easy peasy? All right. So let's do a little exercise. And with this exercise, we are going to pronounce this article correctly. In previous classes, we have seen the pronunciation for this article. Do you remember this pronunciation? How do you pronounce this? That. Or
D.
Good, you remember. Excellent. So we have the when the next word is a consonant. And we have, whoops. We have the when the next word is a vowel. Okay? So let's practice. How do you pronounce the first group? Let's go, Hector. How do you pronounce the first section?
Okay. The carrot.
Uh-oh, pronunciation.
The carrot.
Exactly.
The carrot. The book. The cell phone.
Excellent. And the second?
The iPhone. The African elephant.
The iPhone what?
The iPhone 12.
Okay.
The African elephant.
Mhm.
And the exquisite meal.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to let's go to the dictionary because in Spanish this is not Spanish, right? So in Spanish, QUI sounds key, but in English it's literal. QUI.
Exquisite.
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 Exactly. Like equipment. Remember equipment?
The exquisite meal.
The exquisite meal. That's correct. So we are going to use this pronunciation to answer the following exercise. Okay? Let's practice this and let's go through number one. You have two options, the apples or apples. And you need to choose which one is correct according to the context. So let's try. Number one, Brian. Tell me which one is correct and why.
Apples are good for you. We are talking about apples in general.
We are talking about apples in general. So the answer is
Apples, just
apples.
apples.
Just apples. You are totally correct. We're talking about apples in general. Good job. Let's go to the next one. Caesar.
In Britain.
Okay, pronunciation.
Britain.
Okay. Check it out.
Oh, Britain.
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 That's correct.
Okay, in Britain, the wine is more expensive than beer.
Then beer. Also, one is the wine and the other is only beer.
Yes.
Why?
Because this sentence speak about a specific wine, and beer is in general beer.
Well, that is contradictory to parallel structure. Parallel structure says that if you are talking about one thing, the next thing should match. So that is actually incorrect, brother. You need to decide if the sentence is in general or the sentence is specific.
Okay. No, it's in general.
In general, wine and beer, right?
Yeah. In return, wine is more expensive than beer.
That's correct. It's wine in general compared to beer in general.
Yeah, because never said merge. Merge. For example, how do you say marca? Merge?
Brand?
Brand.
Brand. Sorry, brand. Never said
Okay.
a brand. Speaking wine in general.
We never say the brand exactly, or we never say the wine that we have in the north. No, like
Or a
very, very
specific
particular
way.
things. Exactly. That's how you know. Okay. So let's pass to the next. Go, Laurita, number 3.
Yes. We had a very nice meal in that restaurant. The wine was good too. The correct is wine only
Only wine. Okay. Why
because
only
it's
wine?
in general,
Well,
not
this is
isn't
actually
specific.
take a decision, specific or general.
General.
General, incorrect. The word is specific because we are talking about that restaurant.
I understand a specific the name or the or specific from, no?
Aha, specific from. And in this case, is specific from the restaurant where we had the nice meal.
Okay.
Because we have a nice meal in a specific restaurant, and that specific meal had a specific wine. This is English comprehension, reading comprehension.
Okay.
Right?
Okay. Yes.
This is the challenge. This is the difficult part. But good. So remember, guys, the context is very important here. Very, very important. Now let's pass to the next. Number 4. Tell me, Benji.
Okay. Okay. They got married, but the marriage wasn't successful.
So you're saying the, right?
Okay. They got married, but the marriage wasn't successful.
Okay, so you are actually correct. The marriage. Why the marriage?
Because I guess that we talk about the specific person.
Precisely. We're talking about the specific person and the specific, well, a specific couple, because it's plural.
Okay.
No? A specific couple, and yes, that precisely is the marriage. Good job. Let's go to number 5. Help me. Who's next? Everybody passed, so I know Hector. Number 5.
Okay. I know someone who wrote a book about about the life of Gandhi.
Why life?
sorry. It's about the life of Gandhi, because it's a specific life of his person.
Okay, then you are correct. It's a specific person, brother. Very, very rescue. You know, it was a dangerous
Yeah.
situation. Excellent. The next, Elsie, number 6.
Modern life
Right?
will be very difficult without electricity.
Good. Good job. You
Is
understand?
general and
General. Precisely. Modern life. And just a second, 7. 8. That's the one. Good job. The next one. Mitch.
Hockey is my favorite sport, but I also like swimming
Correct. Why hockey and why swimming?
because we are talking in general.
In general sports, and actually, guys, be careful, especially with sports. We have again a similar case. In Spanish, we say el hockey y la natación. O me gusta el fútbol. In English, we never say I like the football. That's incorrect. We say I like football only.
Yeah, because only have one report for this name, no?
Sport.
Sport.
But, well, exactly. It's like a name. You know, like in English, we never say la Brita ni el Jonathan, you know? So the same case with el fútbol is only Brittany, Jonathan, and football, right? Never that. So take a note. Number 8. Hector. I know Hector already passed. Ryan.
Do you know the people who live next door?
The people. Okay, and why the?
I think because we are talking about the next door, you are talking about specific people.
Totally correct. Okay, specifically the people who actually, the connector who in this case is a very good indication that you need the article. Because if you are giving more information, we are expanding the idea using the, who, which, etc. You need the article. It's specific. Take a note, people. If you are using, in the case of Laurita made a question, when is necessary? It is necessary when you use these connectors. The teacher who taught me English was Mr. Pérez. The teacher, not only teachers, is a specific teacher. Is yes or no?
Yes.
Awesome. All right. So let's pass to the next. Number 9. Caesar.
Okay, teacher. Are you interested in art or in architecture?
Wow. You are correct. How do you know that?
What, teacher?
How do you know that?
It's similar to sports.
Mhm.
It's a name for a specific things.
Area.
What, teacher?
But okay, specific
No,
is
no.
contradictory because specific is
Okay. How to explain me? Okay. It's a name. That's it.
okay. we can yes, we can express
For
it like
example,
that.
architecture is thing. Okay, is for a creation for a professionalist,
A professional.
a professional. Yeah. For example, the artist make art, and the architect
How do you pronounce the
architecture
ch? Architect.
architect
Mhm.
make houses or floor. I don't know. This name is architecture. I don't know. I don't know how explain me.
Yeah, because there's no correlation with that and the article, so that is strange.
Yeah.
But I like the other logic. I like when you say that is a name.
Yeah.
You know, it's a name, so technically you can detect it like that. Okay,
Okay.
all right. So the last one, go Brian. Tell no, yes, but Brian already passed. So Benji, let's go with you. Oh wait, Benji is disconnected. So Laurita, number 10. Laurita, are you there?
I don't stay in that hotel. The beds are very uncomfortable.
Right. So you say the beds.
The beds, yes,
Why the beds?
because it's a specific that in that hotel.
That is totally correct.
Mhm.
That hotel when you arrived. Mhm. That is the part 1 for articles, guys. Any questions about this? Anyone? Questions?
No, teacher.
Promise, eh? All right.
Pinky.
Okay. Pinky promise. All right. Then we can pass to the next section. Attention here. Rule number 2, and then we're going to cover 6 different rules. Yes? According to rule number 2, articles are never used before countries, single states, single cities, towns, continents, single lakes, or single mountains. I think it's very easy to understand the cities, the towns, the continents, but what is, for example, a single state or a single lake? Do you know what we are talking about?
For example, Chapala Lake.
Chapala Lake, let's give an example. Aha. Chapala Lake is a single lake, only one, right? But there are groups of lakes, like for example, the Great Lakes. The Great Lakes is a conjunction of lakes together in the United States. This is in, let's check, where is it? Great Lakes are called North America in the Atlantic Ocean via the St. Lawrence River. This is in Minneapolis, very close to Ottawa, Canada. These are the Great Lakes. Do you see it? So this is 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5 lakes. Lake Area, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, and Lake Superior. Together is a group of the Great Lakes. Because it's plural, you need to use the article the. But when it's singular, you only use the name. Like Caesar says, is a name. So you don't go to the Jennifer and the Jonathan, no? Also, you don't go to the Great Ontario. You only go to Lake Ontario, Lake Huron. So, if you read an article about Popocatépetl, it's very probable that you will speak using that. Be careful. You need to eliminate the article when it's not necessary. Questions in this case? Super sure. Let's read the exception. Okay? Brian, please help me with the exception.
Exception. That is part of the names of these countries. Das Czech?
Oh, pronunciation, check.
Czech?
Check.
Okay. The Czech Republic and the USSR.
R, exactly. Just pronunciation. No, sorry. Pronunciation.
Republic.
Repa, exactly.
Republic.
No repu, it's repa.
Republic.
That's right. So one more time. If you say, how do you say this in Spanish? In English, sorry. Let's go with Michelle. La República Mexicana tiene 32 estados. How do you say that in English?
Mexican Republic have 32 states.
That is incorrect.
Ah,
Mexican
why?
Republic or República Mexicana is not the name.
Oh, I don't know how to say that.
Just if you are not saying the name, say that because you are speaking about republic.
I don't understand that. Sorry.
I repeat, if you don't say the name, you know, Mexican Republic is not the name. No?
Uh-huh.
Then you need the article. You need the article the. How do you say it?
But it's because I don't say the name like Mexico.
Exactly. If you say Mexico, you need to name
Oh,
the
okay,
article.
okay. So is that Mexican Republic
Uh-huh.
have 32 states?
Good. You have, and he, she, it.
Has, sorry.
Exactly. Complete.
The Mexican Republic has 32 states.
Excellent English. In this case, it's necessary.
Because, the name, okay.
That's right. Let me take a note on that exercise.
Teacher,
Yes,
why
Laurita.
in Canada isn't used the Canada?
Because Canada is a name.
The United States?
Oh, excellent question. United States is a plural name. When you speak about plural names, that is necessary.
Like the Netherlands?
Like the Netherlands. Or
When
the Philippines.
Plural. Okay.
Correct.
When say Mexico, no, isn't used the Mexico.
Exactly, because it's a name.
Okay.
But
Only
when you say la República Mexicana is the Mexican Republic, because you are talking about the nationality, not the official name.
Okay.
Right? Ask the students. Tell me, for example, ALC. Wait a second. Just a second. Oh, okay. When, say this in English. When. 18, okay. How do you say this in English, Elsie? Maximiliano de Habsburgo llegó a Nueva España, a la Nueva España, en 1864.
Maximiliano de Habsburgo arrived to New Spain.
Mhm.
No, Nueva España.
No, but how do you say that in English?
New Spain.
New Spain or the New Spain?
New Spain.
You are totally correct. I know it's like so strange, but New Spain is the official name in that case,
In that time.
in that time. Similar to what happens to New England. There is a state in the United America. It's called New England. That is actually here. New York is in New England. And it's not the New England. That's incorrect. So New Spain is the same case. Got it? Finally, how do you say this in English? I want to use easy vocabulary, but it's a little bit. Okay. Do you know how do you say the second example? Mount Rosa is part of the Alps mountain range. Mountain range is a group of mountains. Do you understand mountain range? Anybody? Do you understand or you don't understand? Hello? Are you there?
Okay.
Alps
So-
mountain is a single mountain.
Single.
Single mountains.
Isn't single mountains, no? Because
Yes.
Alps is a group, or the Alps is a group.
Yes.
The group of mountains is called range.
Mhm.
With this vocabulary, please adapt this to English. Tell me, Brian, how do you say in English, el Iztaccíhuatl es parte de la Sierra Madre Occidental?
Who? Wait, what?
Teacher, Spanish or Nahuatl? What's your problem? El Iztaccíhuatl, you know, or la Iztaccíhuatl, the mountain, la montaña. La montaña, Iztaccíhuatl, es parte de la Sierra Madre Occidental. How do you say that in English?
What's the name? It's Iztaccíhuatl?
Iztaccíhuatl. You don't know Iztaccíhuatl?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, then La Mujer Dormida?
Yeah, it sounds familiar.
It's a mountain next to Popocatépetl in Puebla.
Next to the Popo.
Ajá, next to the Popo. You haven't visited Puebla?
No.
Then, okay. Iztaccíhuatl. Okay, I'm gonna, let me show it to you. I'm sorry for my spelling, but I am very bad. This is the Iztaccíhuatl, brother. It's a mountain. And the Popocatépetl is next to it. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So, Iztaccíhuatl is part of Sierra Madre
Iztaccíhuatl
Occidental.
Mountain
Mhm,
is part of
mhm.
Occidental.
Yes, yes, yes.
Uh,
Occidental.
Mother Range?
Exactly. But you know what? It's incomplete.
The,
Occidental Mountain Range is a
uh,
group of
uh,
mountains.
is the what?
Iztaccíhuatl.
Is the Ciguatl
Mhm.
mountain is part of the Occidental Mother Range.
Correct. That is correct. You see what I mean, my people? Is this difficult? Or easy?
It's a confuse.
It is confusing, ing.
It's a confusing. Sorry.
It's confusing, I imagine, because sometimes his teacher, come on, is it necessary or is not necessary? What's the problem? Well,
Yes.
hashtag English. We need to really, really understand when it's necessary, when it's not. And exposition to the language helps you. Okay? Think it in English. So that's it. Let's go to the next. Rule number 3. This is a little exception for rule number 1. Okay? Let's take away an exception to rule 1. Locations: school, work, church, jail, and bed never use the. Neither the nor my. You need to avoid saying the. And you need to avoid saying Jesus Christ. My. Let me collocate an prohibition over here. Super important, eh? So we never say in my work. Never, never, never say in my work. And this is something that everybody does in this class. I was going to my work. The correct expression is I was going to my job. My job is correct. But my work is not correct because hashtag English. I know, it's so confusing, but I didn't invent it, I promise. Okay. Did you go to school today? In Spanish we would say, ¿fuiste a?
La escuela.
La escuela.
A la escuela hoy.
Ajá.
La escuela.
So here in Spanish we use la. A common error, a common mistake is to use did you go to the school? And that is incorrect. You get it? So that is the secret here. The next example said, I usually go to church. You never go to the church. I must go to work early tomorrow. We never use. I must go to the work, like we say. So, how do you say this in English? Cesar, dejé mi celular en el trabajo. Say that in English.
Dejé mi celular en el trabajo.
Yeah, let me help you with something, eh? Help. Remember.
Okay.
Work. Home. And school are considered locations. Connector for location?
At.
At. 1, 2, 3, action.
I lived my I
Lived is a past of live. I live in Mexico. I lived in California.
no live.
Live. Okay, live is present. What is the past of live?
Lived.
But it's irregular.
Live it. Irregular. Okay.
Yes, it's irregular.
I don't remember.
Come on, Caesar. Come on. Remember, we saw it last month. I have a clip on TikTok explaining that, in fact.
No, I don't remember.
No? Guys, do you remember how do you say the hey in English?
Left.
Exactly. It's left.
Okay, I left.
Yes.
Yeah, I left my cell phone at work.
Contrast. How do you say dejé mi celular en el escritorio de mi oficina?
Okay, I left my cell phone in my desk.
Oh, almost.
No.
The desk is not a box.
Yeah, on.
On, exactly.
I left my cell phone on my desk at work.
En la oficina.
Okay.
En la oficina.
In the office.
In the office, exactly. So for office, that is necessary.
Yeah.
But for work, that is not necessary. Interesting, right?
Yes.
In the case of, let me take a note.
Teacher, a question. I have a question. Office isn't a location?
Office is not a location. No, it's the interior of a building.
Okay.
It's, for example, it's a room, like bedroom, bathroom, living room, kitchen, office. So that is the reason you use connector in, not at.
For example, hospital is a location.
Hospital is a location, but you say at the hospital.
Oh,
That's the reason. That's the reason it's an exception. Yes, I tell. I started.
So just for that specific locations,
Those.
school or those specific locations, school, works, church, jail, and bed.
Exactly, only.
Just that.
Exactly. Exclusively for this specific location, this list of specific locations.
Oh.
School, work, church, yes, of course. Hospital is a location, supermarket is a location, the mall is a location, but these are not part of the list. You know?
Teacher,
Hashtag yes,
question.
bitch.
What happens if I want to say that a specific church, for example?
Then it's probable, for example, the church where I got my
Yeah.
where the church where I had
Got
my
married.
celebration or got married or exactly. Then I need to use the because
Okay.
I'm being specific.
Okay.
Usually, these locations, the common characteristic of these locations is that they are part of your routine. School is part of a routine, work is part of the routine, church is part of a routine, jail is, well, it's your house, if you go to
Okay.
jail.
Even though
As-
it's not part of my routine.
Fortunately,
Yeah.
or which, not yet.
You are so true.
Who knows?
Yeah.
All right, we don't know about the future,
Yeah. I hope not.
I really hope not. Please don't go to jail, guys. Don't do it. But hashtag English. I mean, that's an observation. So when it's like a very particular part of your routine, then you use. It's not necessary to use the because you only have one. And yeah, that's the difficult part about this exception to rule number 1. Do you have any question?
No, teacher.
Well, hashtag amazing English for you. Okay? We finish for today. I will see you tomorrow for the next part.
See you. Thank you, teacher.
Have a good day.
Good night, guys.
See you later,
Yes,
guys.
thank you,
Teacher.
teacher. See you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Bye.
Good night.
Excellent
Bye.
night.
Thank you.
See you tomorrow.
Good night, everyone.
You too.
Teacher.
See you
Bye.
tomorrow.
I have a
Yes.
question, teacher.
Of course, Elsie. Tell me. What's
But
up?
it's not about the articles.
Oh, perfect. Tell me anyway.